Rain lashed against the window panes, creating a steady, comforting rhythm that seemed to echo the heartbeat of the world outside. Each drop was a tiny percussion, a reminder of nature's relentless beauty. Inside, the book nook was warm, inviting, a sanctuary from the storm. The soft glow of lamps cast a golden hue over the wooden shelves, making the place feel like a cozy retreat. The smell of old books and freshly brewed coffee hung in the air, mingling to create an intoxicating aroma. It was a haven for bookworms, a place where stories came alive and time seemed to stand still. She walked in, shaking off the rain from her umbrella, droplets scattering like tiny diamonds. Her coat was damp, but the warmth of the café quickly enveloped her. Her eyes scanned the room, taking in the familiar sight of people lost in their books. Then her gaze settled on him. He sat by the window, lost in a book, the rain outside forming a perfect backdrop to his quiet concentration. He seemed completely absorbed, unaware of the world around him. A sudden flutter in her chest, an instant connection. She couldn't explain it, but something about him drew her in, like a magnet pulling at her heartstrings. She chose a table, her eyes stealing glances at him. She wondered if he felt it too, this inexplicable pull. This silent conversation between two souls meeting for the first time. He looked up, catching her gaze. A shy smile touched his lips. She quickly looked away, her cheeks burning. This was silly. She didn't even know him. An idea struck her, bold, impulsive. On a napkin, she scribbled a note. "You seem interesting," it read. "Let's share a coffee sometime?" The girl, at table 6. With a deep breath, she left the note on his table as she walked out. The rain had stopped. A hopeful sun peeked through the clouds. He found the note, a small piece of paper folded neatly and tucked under his coffee cup. A surprised chuckle escaping his lips as he read the words scribbled in elegant handwriting. He looked around, his eyes scanning the outdoor cafe, trying to find the person who left the note. He spotted her empty table, a single chair pulled out as if she had just left. Intrigued and curious, he finished his coffee in a few quick gulps and stood up. He walked through the cafe, weaving between tables in search of table 6, the number mentioned in the note. She was back the next day, her nerves buzzing with anticipation. She sat at the same table, her eyes darting around, hoping to see him again. He was there too, his heart pounding with excitement. Their eyes met across the room, a silent connection forming between them. It was as if the world around them faded away, leaving just the two of them in that moment. He walked over, note in hand, a warm smile on his face. His steps were slow, deliberate, as if he was savoring every moment of this encounter. "So you think I'm interesting?" he asked, his voice filled with a mix of curiosity and amusement. They talked for hours that day, their conversation flowing effortlessly. They shared stories about their lives, their dreams and their passions. They discussed books, their favorite authors, and the stories that had touched their hearts. They talked about life, its ups and downs, and the moments that had shaped them. They reminisced about the rainy afternoon that had brought them together, the serendipity of that moment. He was everything she thought he'd be and more, kind, funny and genuine. She found herself drawn to his warmth and sincerity, and to her delight, he was a fellow book lover. They bonded over their shared love for literature, finding common ground in the stories they cherished. Their bookstore rendezvous became a regular affair. Every week they would explore the aisles, discovering new stories and sharing their thoughts on the latest finds. It was their little escape from the world, a place where they could be themselves. Rainy afternoons turned into sunny mornings, and with each passing day, their bond grew stronger. The weather seemed to mirror their journey, with clouds giving way to clear skies. Coffee dates into shared dinners, each meal a new opportunity to learn more about each other. They laughed, they talked, and they dreamed together, building a future one conversation at a time. He was her safe space, her confidant, her best friend. In his presence, she felt understood and cherished. Their moments together were filled with joy and a sense of belonging. He felt it too, this connection, this pull towards her. It was as if they were two halves of a whole drawn together by an invisible force. Their love was undeniable and it grew with each passing day. Life had a funny way of surprising you. Just when they thought they had it all figured out, something unexpected would happen, reminding them of the beauty of the unknown. The note, a simple act of courage, had changed everything. It was a declaration of feelings, a promise of what could be. That small piece of paper held so much power. It had opened up a world of possibilities. As they walked hand in hand, they felt the weight of the world lift off their shoulders. They were free to dream, to hope, and to love without reservation. The bookstore fading into the distance, but the memories they made there would always be a part of their story. It was the beginning of something beautiful. They knew this was just the beginning. Their journey was just starting, and there were so many more chapters to write. Together, they would face whatever came their way. Their story, once just words on a page, was coming to life, one chapter at a time. Each moment they shared was a new sentence, a new paragraph in their unfolding tale. They were the authors of their destiny, writing a love story that would stand the test of time. And as the sun set on another day, they knew their best chapters were yet to come.